slow travel. So this is for the people who you want to go somewhere and travel. I would say for at least a week. Slow travel can be a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, a year, right? Like that, like people define it differently. I'm going to say, really like 2 weeks, I believe is ideal. And I know that's not always possible. So I feel like even if you can do a week, that's fabulous, but that's what we're going to talk about for today's live. I mean, where's cheaper? Where's cheaper than Jamaica? Baby, what? There are a lot of places cheaper than Jamaica. And I'm not saying that Jamaica is expensive. I just mean like resorts are typically expensive because they're specifically designed for a tourist. But the cheapest place to travel, the least expensive place to travel in the world is Southeast Asia. But obviously, you know, the flight getting there is not always going to be inexpensive. So I get it. Nope, I don't like the Caribbean. You don't like the Caribbean? Wow. I'm sorry, what? What is there not to like about delicious food and beautiful waters? Ida, this is a hot take. This is a hot take. I need to know, what do you mean you don't like the Caribbean? Like, what do you, like, you see, I'm rarely speechless. I am rarely speechless, Ida, and you have rendered me speechless. By the way, my sister-in-law's name is Ida as well. All right. We're going to be talking about slow travel today. So what is slow travel, for starters? Slow travel, like the difference in regular travel and slow travel is that slow travel means that instead of just going somewhere and doing a different excursion every single day, instead of just going somewhere and doing like a quick trip, like a weekend trip, or maybe like a 3 to 5 day trip, slow travel is when you actually get to take your time. So you have more time to get to know a city. You have more time to get to know a country. You have more time to get to know a local culture. You have more time to actually be immersed, okay? My flabber is sarcastic. Me too, okay? 100%. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Yeah, me too. I am stunned over here. So slow travel gives you an opportunity to actually have these local experiences that, in my opinion, are the most life-changing whenever it comes to travel. Slow travel means that you don't have to rush everything. Slow travel means that you don't have to try to be the itinerary warrior. You know who you are, okay? You don't have to be the itinerary warrior, okay? You don't have to make sure everything is planned out for every single day, every second of the day. You actually have time to just be in a place. You have time to discover more serendipitous things, right? You have time to go out in the morning and take a long walk and just see, you know, what people you can meet, to see what small, you know, restaurant, coffee shop you can stumble upon. Maybe you come across a park and you get to just sit and absorb, like, what does this culture look like? Okay, I see a lot of families come out here with their kids on Saturday morning. Okay, I see a lot of people like to work out in this park, right? Slow travel gives you more of a chance to actually experience the life abroad. It's not just about going on a vacation. It's not just about trying to do all of the touristy stuff. Slow travel is for the people who really want to get the most out of being in another country. You don't want to just leave the US just to be a United States American in another country just to say you went. You actually want to be immersed in these new experiences. You actually are going for the culture. That's the biggest difference in slow travel versus regular travel. And, you know, I was going to talk about why it's important, but obviously a lot of the reasons that I just listed is exactly why it's important, right? If you are slow traveling, you have a completely different experience. So let's just say, for example, we were just talking about the Caribbean. I will 100% transparently admit to y'all that whenever it comes to the Caribbean, 90% of my experiences have been vacation. It's just going to a nice beach, you know, being on an island for a little bit on a cruise. I don't have a lot of experience actually traveling in the Caribbean in a way where I can tell you really anything about the culture. For example, I've been to DR, I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to Grand Cayman, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Roatan, which is in Honduras. I've been to Cozumel, Cancun, and I'll be honest with y'all, out of all these places that I'm naming, the only place that I can really tell you anything about is Roatan. And that was in Honduras. And the only reason I can even tell you about that is because I specifically chose, and this was on a cruise where I visited there, I specifically chose to do an excursion that would immerse me in culture because I had never been to Honduras and I wanted to learn more. But when I went to Jamaica, when I went to Grand Cayman, when I went to Cozumel, Mexico, when I went to the Bahamas, y'all, I can't tell you anything about those local cultures. Like, I can't. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to throw you no shade. There's nothing wrong with taking a vacation. Sometimes you just need a trip where all you're doing is lying on the beach with a margarita or a mocktail, and all you're doing is looking at beautiful waters. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. However, that should not be the only way that you travel. If you're going to pay this money, get on a plane, if you're going to do all this stuff to go to another country, then take the time to actually try to know the culture a little bit, because otherwise, I mean, go to Florida, go to Vegas, go to Miami. Like, you don't need to leave the country just to go sit at a nice hotel and get drunk for 5 days in a row, right? Like, you don't need to leave the country to do that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, obviously it's up to you, but my thoughts are, if you're going to travel abroad, then why not try to get to know the culture if you can? Again, I'm not saying every single trip. To be honest with you, I have gotten to know so many cultures. Y'all, I've been to 10 different countries. I didn't even give an introduction, y'all, my bad. I've been to 10 different countries since February of last year. So I've been to 24 different countries despite growing up black and broke. And this is why we're going to talk about how to actually afford slow travel, because I'm not trying to hear y'all excuses. Y'all not about to sit here and tell me about, oh, well, my job don't do this and I can't do this because this is what my pockets say, or, I don't have a passport. Like, I don't really give a shit about your excuses. And I'm not going to baby you. So I'm telling you, if you're not here, if the tough love is going to be too much for you, go ahead and leave, okay? Because it's air sign energy, okay? Go ahead and leave. But I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my journey and about how I was able to travel to 24 different countries and just the differences in slow travel and versus like just going on a vacation. So like I said, in the past year and like 3 months, I've been in 10 different countries. So me and my husband actually left the US last year to live abroad as digital nomads. I am in the US right now. So a digital nomad, by the way, is just somebody who works and travels. Like, that's really it. Like, we don't have like a home. Like, we have a storage unit. Like, right now, we're in North Carolina, where I'm from. We're doing a house sit. This ain't even my house, by the way. Not my house. But we left the US last year to live abroad as digital nomads. And we left February 4th. And since February 4th of last year, we have been to Brazil, Spain, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, China, Indonesia, Panama, Colombia, and Mexico. I think that's all of them. We have been to 10 countries since February of last year. And you know what? Some of those countries we were a lot more, wait, I think I went the wrong way. I think I'm going to move this up. Some countries we were a lot more immersed. And there are some countries where, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was just more of a vacation. Like, it is what it is. But I'm saying, like, you do want to have some sort of balance in your travels. You don't want it to always be like, oh, I'm only traveling just to go on a vacation. Like, if you can find the balance of actually getting to know some culture, those are the experiences that are really going to change your life. Does anybody have any questions, by the way? If you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. I'm happy to share anything about my experience, to answer any questions you have about travel. If I don't know, I'm going to just tell you I don't know. But let me know what questions you have. Like I said, even as somebody who grew up black and broke, I've traveled to 24 different countries, and I go live so that I can give you my perspective. I go live so that I can show you travel does not have to be expensive. There are so many different ways that you can see the world, even if you are on a budget. Because for too long, I just assumed travel was for rich white people. I never even thought about that. I didn't grow up in a world where people were talking about travel or passports. Like, I grew up in a town where we didn't even have a fucking Chipotle. Please let that sink in. Where I grew up, we didn't even have Chipotle. And we damn sure didn't have diversity. You were black, white, or Mexican. Like, that was it. That was it. And trust me, even the Mexicans, they kept to themselves, okay? Like, I did not grow up in a world where I was witnessing people travel, especially people who look like me. And this is why, like, I'm here to be a representation. This is why I'm here to show you what is possible for you as well. Please don't forget to double tap the screen, by the way, y'all. I grew up, y'all didn't have a Taco Bell? Holy moly, donut shop. Okay, we did have a Taco Bell. That's intense. That is intense. Wow. Thank y'all so much for the hearts, by the way. Please continue to double tap. I just put in my passport applications. Yes, Roxy, I love this for you. Where are you trying to go first? What is the best country you've been to? So I won't say the best, but I would say my top 3 favorite countries are Mexico, Colombia, and Thailand. If you want, you know what? And this is actually a great segue into this. If you want me to give you the real answer about why these countries are my top favorite, the first thing is because I have spent the most time in these countries. I was in Thailand for like 9 weeks. I was in Colombia. I've been to Colombia twice, but it was a total of almost 4 months. And, child, I don't even know. I've been to Mexico so many times, I can't even tell you. But I love the culture. I love the food. I love the people. I mean, I could go on and on. I hear so many great things about Jamaica, so I highly recommend it. And then South Africa, I haven't been yet. It's on my list for sure. I've been trying to go since like 2020, but we will get there. Okay. Like I'm learning with travel that like, I just got to trust that I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. Like, that's just kind of where I am because yeah, there's a lot of places that I thought I would have gone by now and I still haven't gotten there, but we will get there. Okay. So let's talk about 3 different ways to afford slow travel. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. One way to afford slow travel, and this is probably my favorite way to afford slow travel, is to travel like a local. Drop the word yes in the comments if you have ever traveled like a local. And what I mean is you have traveled somewhere and you did not stay in a resort. You didn't stay in a hotel. You actually stayed somewhere where whenever you walked out of your door, you saw other locals. Drop the word yes in the comments if you have ever stayed somewhere and you walked out the door and you were the only person who spoke English, right? Like this is traveling like a local. Drop the word yes in the comments if you've ever been somewhere and you looked around and you were the only person from the United States. Like you were actually the minority. And drop the word no if you have never experienced this. 15-hour flight is ugly. Oh yeah, I believe it. But I mean, child, at this point with flights, I'm like, after flying to Asia, I'm just like, whatever. Like, at this point, it is what it is. I hear Table Mountain is really, really dope. So this is what it means to travel like a local. It doesn't mean that you don't get to have experiences that other tourists do. It doesn't mean that, you can't do, the fun stuff that you saw your friend doing online or the stuff you see the influencers doing. However, you just want to have some balance, y'all. Like you want to have balance. So whenever I travel to places, it's not like I don't do things that other tourists do. When I was in, I'm trying to think of like places we went last year. Because this year we've only been in Mexico and what did I'm not gonna lie, we really didn't do much touristy stuff in Mexico. Like we were pretty much just we were in the thick of it. We were just out with the locals pretty much the whole time. Yeah, I can't recall anything that we did that was actually really touristy when we were in Merida. But last year, for example, like we were in Panama. So anybody been in Panama? Drop yes or no in the comments. And please don't forget to double tap. I appreciate it, y'all. So last year we were in Panama, right? So one of the famous things to do in Panama is go to Taboga Island. And there are, have y'all been on a catamaran? Or no, like, let me know if y'all have or not. So, okay, Lindsay has been to Panama. Did you like it, Lindsay? I'm just curious. So, Panama, for example, one of the popular things to do there is take a catamaran boat to Taboga Island. Now, that is something that me and my husband did. Okay, actually, I did it twice. I went once with my friends and I went once with my husband. But, y'all, whenever you take a catamaran boat from Panama City to Taboga Island, most of the people you see on there are going to be other tourists. They're not going to be Panamanians. However, there is a ferry that you can take to Taboga Island, and that is an example of something that's a little bit more local. Did I do that? No, I took the catamaran, laid my ass out there in that boat, had the unlimited drinks. Like, I did the tourist thing. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing these. I'm just saying to keep in mind that there is so much more than just being a tourist whenever you go abroad. Again, if you are going to take the time, if you're going to pay this money to go be in another country, experience the other country. Talk to other people. Don't just look for the people that look like you. Okay? Yeah, so there's been times where like we've been abroad and don't get me wrong, like listen, because when we see other black people, we be like, Hey sis, like I get it, right? Like I get it. Or, you know, if you see someone else or you hear someone else speaking English and you're like, oh, where are you from? Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying also be intentional about getting to know a local. And you can do this in so many different ways. You can talk to your Uber driver, right? Your taxi driver. Talk to the person wherever it is you are staying. If you're staying in an Airbnb, you know, you can talk to the host and be like, you know, what are your local recommendations? It was great experience to local food too. Yeah. Oh my God. Y'all, when you travel like a local, you have so much more. You have so many more authentic experiences. Whenever you travel like a local, you eat way better food and you pay way less. That's the thing. Like whenever you travel like a local, your experience abroad is so much richer. Most of the experiences that I've had abroad, like if I could really list out, I should probably do that. I should do a live one day and I should actually list out my top 10 travel experiences that I can remember. It sounded so bad. I'm 32. Where's my memory going? But if I could list out my top 10 travel experiences, I promise you, at least 8 out of 10, it's not like a touristy thing to do. Like it is something that was very local, something where I got to actually speak to locals. I got to learn more about culture. It was something very like interactive that wasn't all about like, oh, let me just go party. And don't get me wrong, because listen, your girl will party, okay? Your girl will party. Like, let me be very clear. But you can have a much richer experience than just going somewhere and being around a whole bunch of other people from the US and, you know, you just sitting by the pool all day. If you need a trip like that, have a trip like that, but have some balance. Maybe instead of spending all 5 days on the resort, maybe you dedicate 1 day out of 5 to going to do something local. Maybe you talk to the people at the resort and you say, hey, I want to have a local experience. What do you recommend? Can you recommend a great place to eat? Can you recommend an area? And then, you know, you take an Uber or a taxi or a driver. Like you have options for actually being immersed in the culture. So again, the first way to afford slow travel is to start traveling like a local. Whenever you are abroad, live like a local. You don't have to go somewhere and only be a tourist doing all the touristy things. And again, you'll have much better food. You will spend a lot less money whenever you're eating out. You can spend a lot less money on experiences. You don't got to go to the bar where all the other Americans are, right? Like go to a bar where you're the only, and obviously use your best judgment, right? Know your area, know where you are, know what safety things apply, right? There are certain places like even I wouldn't go, okay? But you know, so you know, like you can do your research as well. But this is another reason why I say like talk to locals, right? Like most locals aren't going to send you anywhere, you know, finicky. Like I remember when I got my hair braided in Peru and my Uber driver picked me up. Y'all, this man was like scolding me. He was like, what are you doing over here? You know, it's like really dangerous over here. I'm not gonna lie. I straight up got my hair braided in the projects in Peru, 100%. Like, and I have no regrets. But I'm not gonna advise everybody to do that because that's not for everybody, and that's okay. Spending the night in an ancient Greek monastery with the priests and locals, no English, highlight of my life. I love that. How long to summer? That sounds so dope. And that's another thing. So many people are afraid of a language barrier. Like the amount of people that ask me like, oh my God, like what if I don't speak the language? Or like, I only speak English. What am I gonna do? Y'all, do y'all know that more than 50% of the way that we communicate is nonverbal? We think that it's all about this. It's not all about this. Stop being afraid of a language barrier. And on top of that, you got Google Translate. Y'all, it's 2025. You got Google Translate. You got headphones that will literally translate for you. You got Chat GPT. Y'all, do not let a language barrier stop you from traveling to countries that do not speak English or traveling to countries where English is not the native language. Also, keep in mind, y'all, English is the language of business. So most places that you go to, even if English is not the native language, chances are you are going to come across people who speak English. And, you know, these are things that you can work your way up to, right? Like maybe if you are brand new to travel, maybe you do want to start somewhere where there is a lot of English. That's okay, but don't be afraid to venture out. 35 years ago. Holy moly, that was 35 years ago. Oh, I love that so much. See, that's how long to summer. You are picking up what I'm putting down. You really are. You really, really are. And by the way, y'all, I do have a budget travel masterclass. It's called Abroad on a Budget. It's at the link in my bio. And in the masterclass, I go into more detail about how to actually finesse your travels this way, like how to actually find the best flight deals, how to actually pick the best neighborhoods that you want to slow travel in, how to have more of these local experiences. I go into detail for all of this in the budget travel masterclass. It's at the link in my bio. And for anybody who gets it while I'm live, I'm going to also send you my cash flow come up checklist as a bonus. And the cash flow come up checklist is a 16-page guide with a video where I walk you through all these different ways that you can start making more money. Even though I am a travel creator, the number one question that I get is, Bianca, how do you afford to travel? Where are you getting the money to do all of this? And this is why, even though my bread and butter is talking about travel, I talk about money. Because most of the reason, the reason that so many people are so fucking broke is because a lot of people are afraid to talk about money. Like, we were raised to believe that money is like this taboo topic. And I'm like, that's why nobody ain't got no damn money. No, nobody want to talk about it. Let's talk about money. Everybody's saying they can afford to travel. Let's talk about money. So if you want to make more money, I do have the cash flow come up checklist at the link in my bio as well. That guide is specifically for how to make more money. But if you get the budget travel masterclass while I'm live, I'm going to give you that guide as a bonus for being an action taker. Whew, let me get some water. Okay. So let's talk about number 2. The number 2 way to afford slow travel. Trusted house sitters. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Trusted house sitters, let me put it this way. Staying in other people's nice ass houses all over the world in exchange for taking care of their dog or cat or plants or turtles. In exchange for you not having to pay for accommodations, in exchange for you not having to pay for overpriced hotels or Airbnbs, is an enormous way to save money on travel. Think about it. Whenever you travel, your top 2 expenses most of the time are your flights and your accommodations. So imagine if you want to travel somewhere and you get to completely wipe out the accommodation cost. I just applied for a house sit in Ecuador. It is 1 month. House on the beach. Beautiful house. 1 dog, 1 cat. Done. Sign me up. And keep in mind, Ecuador has been on my travel list for, I don't know, years, okay? Probably since like 2019. I have been wanting to travel to Ecuador. So this is another reason I love Trusted House Sitters, is because if you have specific countries or cities that you want to travel to, you can get on Trusted House Sitters and you can go on their website and you can actually look for the places that you want to visit. And that's the bonus, y'all. You can set up alerts. The only reason I even knew about this house sit in Ecuador is because I have alerts set up in my Trusted House Sitters account to let me know whenever a house sit for Ecuador pops up. I got the email this morning and I immediately looked at the house sit and applied because I was like, yes. I would have never known about this house sit otherwise unless I just so happened to be like, let me go look on the website for Ecuador today. So if you are, let me know in the comments, yes or no. Do y'all like pets? Are y'all animal people or no? And there's no shade. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Oh, shit. That jump was so dramatic. My phone moved and I thought it was about to fall. Okay. All right, phone. We being annoying today. We are moving to Belize. Yes. I'm hearing a lot about Belize lately. Phone. Can we just... No? Okay, there we go. We worked for months to save money. You need to plan for months. So, I mean, Precious, honestly, I would say it depends. Thank y'all for the hearts, by the way. Please keep double tapping. It depends. Not everybody needs to plan for months. There's so many different ways to move abroad. And that's not the topic of this live, so I'm not gonna harp on this, but I will just say there are a lot of different ways to move abroad. Me and my husband left the US last year. We did not save a bunch of money. There are a lot of different ways to do it. It depends on where you're going. It depends on if you're going to stay in one place. It depends on the visa process. It depends on how long you plan on staying. There are a lot of different ways to experience living abroad. And yeah, like I said, there are some ways where you might need to save up more money, but it does depend. Either way, I'm super excited about you going to Belize. It's Trusted House Sitter, an app or a website. Kimberlaya, it's both. It's a website and it's an app. I have information on Trusted House Sitters at the link in my bio. Actually, you can use my referral and get 25% off of your annual membership. Y'all, with my 25% off, I'm talking $100 a year. $100 a year. And you can apply for however many house sits you want. Y'all better stop playing out here. I'm doing a house sit right now. I'm about to show y'all this house. I'm doing a house sit right now, y'all. And this is the house. Look at this nice ass house we staying in right now. $0. And granted, we're in North Carolina. Because we're here visiting right now. But we just did a house sit in Mexico. We did a house sit in Mexico in like end of March, beginning of April. How did I do this before? I think it was like this. Oop. Okay, y'all bear with me. I gotta get my tripod back right again. All right, there we go. Yeah, we did a house sit. Oh shit, we did a house sit in Mexico not too long ago. I really thought I loved this tripod, y'all, but I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm gonna have to go back to my old one because this shit be getting on my nerve. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, are you just gonna like? I should have moved it. I'm not gonna move it ever again after this. Okay, bear with me. Okay, let me try to put you over here then. Okay, that's a little bit better. But now you're crooked. Thank y'all for bearing with me. With me having these like slight tech things. Okay, there we go. Oh shit, now it's on the volume. You know what? Okay, there we go. Putting me the fuck on. Listen, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to put y'all on. Because I'm tired of people talking about how they can afford to travel. I'm tired of people talking about travel is too expensive. I'm like, y'all, travel is a skill. Travel is a skill. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all want the real hacks, if y'all want everything like in one... This thing about to make me scream. If y'all want everything in one area, get the Budget Travel Masterclass at the link in my bio. Because that class it's like almost 90 minutes long. It's a class that I created. Y'all see, I'm real close to losing my patience with this tripod right now. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just have to look up for now. The class it's like almost 90 minutes long. It's a class that I created, and there are more than 40 different budget travel hacks in there to show y'all how to travel on a budget. We really have to stop thinking that we cannot afford to travel, because yes, the hell we can. And then how long does Somerset love Trusted House Sitters? I had 2 Australian ladies stay at my apartment in Chicago 2 weeks to watch my dog. Oh yeah, and also if you're a pet parent, you can sign up for Trusted House Sitters as well. Like I said, I have information on them on the link in my bio. And I also have some videos on my YouTube channel where I go into more detail about Trusted House Sitters. And I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do a live on Trusted House Sitters soon as well. So make sure y'all are following if that's something that y'all are interested in. But another great... Trusted House Sitters is a great way to slow travel because you can apply for house sits that are 1 week long, 2 weeks long, 1 month long. And then you can go spend a week, a month, 2 months, a week and a half, whatever it is, in these other countries. And the really cool thing about Trusted House Sitters is, y'all, these people, these are locals, right? The people who have houses listed on Trusted House Sitters, these are locals. They're not going to be staying in some hotel or some resort where other tourists are. They're going to be staying where the locals are staying. So remember, we talked about having this really cool travel experience, right? We talked about being immersed in these other cultures. You can go stay. Like I literally just told y'all, I just applied for one in Ecuador. It's a whole month long. I can go stay in Ecuador for an entire month and get to know the Ecuadorian culture without having to pay. Do y'all have any idea? Y'all have any idea how much? Go on my page and look at the house that I stayed in Mexico. Do y'all have any idea how much that house would have cost me to stay in for a month on Airbnb? Y'all, probably minimum $3,000. Minimum $3,000. When you do Trusted House Sitters, you can actually get immersed in local cultures without having to pay for overpriced hotels and vacation rentals. I preach this. It's not more money than other things people spend their money on. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. Exactly. Like I said, not like $99 a year. Y'all better stop playing out here. So anyways, that's number two. That's the number two way to afford to slow travel. And the number three way is to make more money. Make more money. I told y'all I have the cash flow come up checklist at the link in my bio. But if you also want to learn how to travel on a budget, you can get my Abroad on a Budget masterclass, because if you get it while I'm live, I will send you the cash flow guide as a bonus. I'll send that bonus whenever I get off live within like the next 5 or 10 minutes. So for those of you who are serious, you're like, I want to get the hell out of the United States, Bianca. I want to stop living my life on autopilot, Bianca. I need something to look forward to. Drop a number 1 in the comments if sometimes you feel like your life is always on autopilot. Like you work and you sleep and you pay bills. I could drop my own number 1 in the comments because I know how that feels. I have been there. I have been in the jobs that I could not stand. I have been in the situations where I couldn't stand Mondays, right? You have like when you're dreading the Mondays on Sunday, all you're thinking about is how much you don't want to go to work the next day. You're watching all these people online living their best lives and you're wondering, why not me? I'm going to tell you why not you. Because you have not decided to make travel a priority in your life. But you make social media a priority. You make Casamigos a priority. You make Love is Blind a priority. How many streaming apps are you paying for every single month? But you out here talking about you can't afford to travel. Travel is a skill. You can learn how to travel on a budget, just like I learned how to travel on a budget. People out here, you thinking everybody is a scam. You out here thinking, oh, this is fake. I can't do this. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Michelle, you know I'm not lying though. You know I'm not lying. We out here making brunch. We out here making the bottomless mimosa brunch a priority. But you in my DMs talk about how badly you've been wanting to go to Thailand for years. There's house sits in Thailand. And for those of you who are on my email list, I be sending y'all. For those of you on my email list, y'all see I literally be sending y'all available house sits. How serious are you about travel? Just serious enough to have your travel collection on TikTok? Or are you serious enough to book the flight? Are you serious enough to recognize you're already spending money on things that you don't need? Why not start spending that money on things that are going to change your life? Get out of this instant gratification mindset. I get it, y'all. And especially in the US, consumerism culture, we want it, and we want it right now. We want it right now. We want it how we want it. Y'all, I remember whenever I first found out that fast food restaurants, like you could order in advance. I was like, are you fucking serious? We can't even sit in the drive-thru. We can't even sit in the drive-thru no more. We want to order our fast food in advance. Y'all, pay attention to what these types of things are doing to your brain. Pay attention to how these things are impacting you. Because the thing is, so many people are living for the moment. And I get it. Listen, I be on my Carpe Diem shit too. I get it. But you have to ask yourself, how many years, how many months, how many weeks have passed where you have said, I want to travel. Oh my God, I really want to go to Jamaica. I want to take my first cruise. I want to know what it's like to go to Thailand. I love anime. I really want to go to Japan. I want my kids to see the world. But you're spending $200 a week on DoorDash. Like, what are we talking about here? What are your priorities? If you don't know, go pull them bank statements. Pull them bank statements. They'll show you what your priorities are. Listen, I'm not here to throw you no shade because I had to give myself this exact same conversation, okay? I had to remind myself, like, Bianca, what are we doing? What are we doing? Stop complaining about how you ain't got enough money and start making more money. Y'all, there's money out there to be made. We can talk all the shit we want to about the capitalism culture in the United States, but baby, let me tell you something. That capitalism culture means that you get to pick up your phone and make thousands of dollars with a Wi-Fi signal. No degree required. No experience required. There are people out here making a killing. People out here half my fucking age. I am 32. There are people out here half my age making thousands of dollars a day from their phone, but all you doing is scrolling and complaining. Life is fleeting, y'all. Life is fleeting. Time is not waiting on nobody. It's not waiting on me. Time is not waiting on you. How much more time are you going to allow to pass where you are not living the life that you want to live? You are a powerful creator. If you want to travel, make it happen. Make it happen. Damn, I'm out of water. Y'all, listen, where there's a will, there is a way. If you want to learn how to make more money, then do it. There are a gazillion ways to make money online. I'm specifically talking about making money online, baby, because we're not trying to be beholden to one location. Okay, somebody was on my live yesterday. They said they used all their PTO for this year already. And listen, and funny enough, they went to Ecuador and Colombia. Thank y'all for the hearts. And at the end of the day, listen, I fully support using your PTO, but imagine a life where everything is PTO. Imagine a life where you don't give a damn that you only have 10 days, 15 days PTO because you're making money on your own. Y'all know how empowering it is to make money for yourself. I don't care if it's $40. I don't care if it's $4. There is a mindset shift that happens when you make money on your own. This is why, even though I'm a travel creator, I talk about how to make money because I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to be in a job you can't stand. I know what it's like to want to go somewhere, but you're not allowed to take off. Y'all, I'm so far removed from that world now that whenever somebody says something like, I can't take off, I'm like, who gonna stop you? What? What are we even talking about right now? We've been bamboozled into believing that this is normal. Spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Because listen, some of us got multiple jobs. It has become the norm in the US to have multiple jobs. I can remember, I don't know if this is still a thing, but this was so trendy a couple years ago. It was like, oh, have 2, 3, 4 remote jobs working from home so you can make all of this money. Who the fuck wants to work 4 fucking jobs? Why not just learn how to make money on your own? Why not learn how to make your yearly salary in 90 days, in 60 days, in 30 days? People are out here doing it every single day. Why not you? Why not you? I have 10 different streams of income because I was willing to fail. Because I was willing to be cringy. Because I was willing to get out of my comfort zone. Bianca, I really want to be a content creator, but I just feel so awkward, so post-awkward. Bianca, I would love to be able to go to hotels and stay in hotels for free, but I don't know how to pitch people. Learn how to pitch. Y'all, nobody was born knowing how to do these things. The only difference between the people who you see online living their best lives and you is that they had the audacity to try. They had the audacity to fail. They decided, I'm going to be cringy. I'm going to do something that's so hard and so out of my comfort zone. Do y'all really think anybody who's, think about and listen, it's different for everybody. Who is a fucking legend in your life? Okay? Think about somebody you admire. Do you think they got to where they are today because they stayed in their comfort zone? You over here listening to people talk about how Mexico is dangerous. They have never left their fucking state. They still live in the same bullshit ass town they grew up in, and you over here listening to them tell you about how travel is dangerous and how you better stay in the U.S. Y'all better stop playing. You over here listening to somebody who is like, oh, well, how's your little business going? Stop talking to them. Well, Bianca, my family and friends don't support me. Don't talk to them about your business. Well, I don't want my family and friends to see my content. Block them. Block them. Because I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of times you get more love from strangers on the internet than you do from your own people. Y'all don't want to hear me talk today. There are so many times you get more love from people who don't know you from a can of paint than the people who are closest to you. So what are you going to do? You're not going to start the business because your mama don't believe in you. You're not going to start the business because you're afraid that your coworker is going to come across your social media account. What are you talking about? You get to do this life one time. None of us are getting out alive. None of us are getting out alive, y'all. Like, what you doing? What you waiting on? What are you waiting on? You know how many people had their lives taken, gone abruptly, and they didn't get to do half the things they wanted to do? Y'all, one of the things that I express gratitude for, one of the things I thank God for every day is the fact that I know that if I'm gone tomorrow, I lived my life to the fullest. I have no regrets. And the reason I have no regrets is because I decided in 2018, I was like, I was like, this is crazy. I did all the things. I graduated from the good college. I got a good job. I got married. I was like, this is it? This is supposed to be what makes me happy? What are we talking about? Y'all, there's a big, beautiful planet out there. Go see it. Go see it. And even if you can't, maybe you can't make it happen today, but maybe you can make it happen in 90 days. Maybe you can make it happen in 6 months. Maybe now is the time to start planning your 2026 trip. But commit. Commit. Go look at your bank statements. You already have shit that you're committed to. You committed to Peacock. You committed to Netflix. You committed to Bojangles. You committed to that bar up the road that got Taco Tuesday. You are committed to something already. Start committing to living your life the way you want to live it. Start committing to the fact that you're not just gonna keep saving the travel videos. You're gonna book the flight. Y'all, I get on here so that I can show you I am a real person. Fuck the 26,000 followers. Fuck the fact that I've been featured in NBC. Fuck the fact that, I've been auditioning to be on TV. Who the fuck cares? If it means you're not living your life the way you want to live it, what does it even matter if you're not fulfilled? We live in our lives out here for everybody else. Y'all better stop playing. Make more money. There is money to be made. If you don't know where to start, I have the cash flow come up checklist at the link in my bio. Y'all, there are more than 20 different ways that you can start making more money. And there's even a video where I walk you through the guide, and I am very honest. These are side hustles I tried and I hate it. This is what I tried and I liked it, but I didn't stick with it. Hey, this is perfect if you are an introvert. This is perfect if you are an extrovert. I go into detail in this guide because I created it from the person who wanted to make more money and they didn't know where to start, because that was me. I don't have enough fingers for how many different ways I have tried to make money online and failed. People look at me and they're like, oh, you're living my dream. I love your life. No, bitch, I'm living the life that I created intentionally. I'm not living shit that has anything to do with you. You have no idea what goes on behind the scenes in other people's lives. And you know what? It's not our business. But you know what our business is? Our business is creating a life that we cannot wait to wake up to. That's our business. You're saying that you don't know where to start? You don't know how? Honestly, take that shit from your fucking vocabulary. You don't know how? In 2025, when we got AI doing half the fucking work for us, TikTok, Google, YouTube, what do you mean you don't know how? Can we just call a spade a spade? You haven't made it a priority. And the minute that you are willing to hold yourself accountable to that, y'all, there's such a beautiful freedom. Because the minute you get out of that victim mentality, the minute that you decide, I am currently where I am in life because of my choices, then you realize I can make a different choice today. Today, I can decide to do something to move me closer to the life I actually want to live. Take accountability for where you are in life and take accountability for where you want to be, because y'all, the beauty of when you start creating a life that you cannot wait to wake up to. Y'all, I got friends who, they hate their lives in corporate, and we meet like every other Monday. Well, every other month, once a month, like it's always on a Monday. And you know what? I talk to them. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Well, it's Monday. I don't give it, y'all. I have no problems with Mondays. Mondays are cool with me. I'm not dreading Mondays anymore, but God knows for years I did. And I was like, I got to learn how to make money for myself. Before I was 26 years old, I've been fired, I've been laid off, and I had to quit a job suddenly for my mental health. And I learned back then, I was like, these jobs, these businesses, they're looking out for themselves. As soon as it's more convenient for you to be gone, you're gone. They don't give a shit that you've been there 20 years. They don't care that you had a plan to climb the corporate ladder. They don't care. Start looking out for you. Stop playing the victim. Stop blaming the president. Stop blaming politics. Stop blaming the economy. Blame yourself. Okay? When you blame yourself, you realize you are accountable for your life. And y'all, accountability is a beautiful thing. It's not something to run away from. When you start holding yourself accountable, that's when you realize I get to change my life at any given point, and I don't got to explain shit to nobody. Nobody. People try to come at me, oh, Bianca, I remember when you was doing this. You think I care? And I don't give a damn if you remember what I did yesterday. If I decided to do something different today, I decided to do something different today. And what? I don't owe nobody an explanation. You don't owe nobody an explanation. If you want to make more money, learn how to make more money. Y'all, there are so many resources out there. There are so many things, but you got to get out of here. You got to get out of your head. Stop listening to logic. Listen, I'm a Capricorn moon. It is not easy, okay? It's not easy. Stop listening to logic. Listen to your fucking heart. What is your spirit and your soul calling you to do? What is your soul contract that you have that you need to complete during your time on this earth? Because I promise you, it's not pleasing other people. It's not staying at a job you can't stand. It's not having a passport. If y'all don't want to travel the world, y'all wouldn't be in here. I see y'all. First thing I see when I open TikTok, period. I see y'all. You want more out of life and you deserve it. You're so worthy. You are so worthy of a life that you cannot wait to wake up to. You get to create a life that you are excited about. Stop thinking that the norm is struggle. Y'all, can we please stop normalizing struggle? Whew, I gotta get off of here. I've already gone longer than I thought I was going to. Y'all, for those of you who have already gotten the Budget Travel Masterclass, thank you for your business. I'm going to send you the bonus as soon as I get off of here. For those of you who want to see the world, if you are tired of saving the travel videos, if you are ready to get on the plane, if you're ready to be having photos in front of the Egyptian pyramid, if you're ready to be snorkeling in Belize, if you are ready to be out here skydiving in Brazil, whatever it is that you want to do, maybe you just want to go sit on a beach in Costa Rica for 10 days and just absorb the beauty of a peaceful and slower life, whatever is calling to you. If you want to do it and you do not believe you can afford it, let me prove you wrong. My Budget Travel Masterclass was created by me, by somebody who grew up black and broke and yet has traveled to 24 different countries. My Budget Travel Masterclass was specifically created for people who want to see the world. And you think you can't afford it. Yes, you can. Y'all, travel does not have to be expensive. There are so many ways to do it. Travel is a skill. You've already learned so many skills in your life. You can learn how to travel on a budget. And like I said, if you get the class while I'm live, I will send you that cash flow guide as a bonus. So for those of you who want to learn how to make more money, for those of you who want to know how to figure out the best side hustle for you, it's all in the cash flow come up checklist, and I'm giving it away today. I'm giving it away to the people who are serious, for the people who are ready to take action, for the people who are tired of just talking, tired of complaining, for the people who are like, it's 2025. Y'all, there's still so much time for you to book a trip. There is so much more time for you to book a trip in 2025. You think you can't afford it because you don't know the skill of how to travel on a budget, which is exactly what I teach you in the Budget Travel Masterclass. You're going to be like, damn, I can fly here for $200. I can stay here for $30, $40 a night. You are going to be mind blown. And once you start, baby, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. It's a skill that you will have for the rest of your life. The Budget Travel Masterclass is a one-time investment that's going to show you how to save thousands of dollars on travel for the rest of your life. Taking multiple trips a year is going to become the norm for you. But only y'all can take action. Like, you can keep showing up to lives. You can keep scrolling on TikTok. You can keep saving all the videos. Y'all, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to be the one to take action. All right, y'all, I'm getting up off of here, but thank y'all so much for joining per the usual. Please hit that follow button if you want more on budget travel, living abroad, making money online, all of those things. Like I said, I'm going to send out the bonuses for those of you who already got the masterclass. Thank you for your business. Anybody who gets the class in the next 2 minutes, I'll still send you the bonus. I know sometimes it takes some time to get through the form and everything, but the class is at the link in my bio. It's called Abroad on a Budget. And y'all, if you want to travel, if you want to travel and think you can't afford it, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I am. All right, y'all. I'm off of here. Thank y'all again for joining. I'll catch y'all later.